This video is actually brought to you by our good friends at the Umbrella Corporation. Our business is life itself. And a shout out to William Bogan for making Father of the Year. What a stand-up guy. Guys, I have exciting news today. I'm going to review one of my favorite DOS games growing up as a kid. The Gremlins 2, The New Bats. No, not that one. This one. The Gremlins 2, The New Bats is a Windows DOS game that came out in 1991 and is based off the movie of the same name. You play as some guy who goes around with a flashlight and a camera and a good gremlin as he goes up an office building wiping out the gremlins in the area. It's a lot of fun and very challenging, so without further ado, let's check out The Gremlins 2. Now, I've never seen any of the movies, so I actually know very little about the Gremlins, just that they're menacing and not to feed them after midnight, and of course I know about the one good gremlin and the whole bats. In the game, you play as that guy, not to be confused with this guy. So the game never really explains who he is or gives any backstory, but you play as him going around combating other gremlins. Your two main weapons are a flashlight and a camera. The flashlight fires a projectile that wipes out the gremlins on contact, and the camera can wipe out an entire room full of gremlins. Handy to use when you get to the higher levels of the office building, but can run out of film fast. Basically, if this game came out now, your weapon would be an iPhone, and you would have to recharge every couple of minutes and avoid enemies while recharging. I played that game. You do have a life bar, which is basically green squares on the bottom right corner of your screen. If they all become red, it's game over, and you lose a life. You only have two, so be careful. You only have 2 lives, man. That's like a cat if they went to the dog pound. Food can replenish health in the game, and it's scattered in different rooms and hallways. It might even be a good idea to leave a food item alone if you're at full health and then come back to it when you're not. But getting health items and ammo even when you don't need them will give you some points, so I'm not quite sure what the points do. One thing to remember is that if the gremlins get the food, they will mutate and become faster and harder to kill. There are many different kinds of gremlins that change appearance when they eat food. The weakest is a little pink thing, while others can move faster and take more of your health when they hit you. Imagine if people actually mutated when they ate! It would be the perfect argument for going on a diet of absolutely no food and dying as a result. That's pretty dark. You know what? I think I'll just embrace mutation. Maybe I'll get a few extra arms. The office room can be pretty bland at times, lots of blue walls and different rooms to go into. Luckily, by every elevator, there is a map that shows you the layout of the floor and where your enemies are. The further up in floors you go, the more enemies there are, which is called infestation. After a while, the rooms also change colors from blue to pink and eventually green at the top levels. Now, sadly, I never actually finished this game, so I don't know if there's an end boss about how level I got to, what 12 or 13. But basically, the goal is to eliminate all the gremlins and then live happily ever after with your gremlin friend. Now, your gremlin buddy doesn't start the game with you. You actually find him tied up in a random room and going over him will free him. He can shoot a projectile that sometimes helps you fight different enemies. It all depends where you're going because you turn and face different directions based on your own movement. So sometimes he's helpful, another time he's just stuck in a wall. Since I've never seen the movie, I can't say how faithful this game is to the movie, and now I have to go to the Topeka library and buy Gremlins 1 and 2 and watch the movie to get my internet credit back. The things we do for subscribers. The graphics are pretty good for its time. Everything is colorful and you can tell apart the enemies from the main playable character. You can see the flashlight clearly in his hands and the camera strapped around his neck. The Goody Gremlin also looks well defined and is a sheet to look at. The music is kind of annoying to be honest. When you start the game you hear this tune that's going to get stuck in your head and that you just want to put an end to. While playing the game though, there's not much music to be had. Just some sound effects when you use a weapon, get an item, or get hit by a gremlin. The only real flaws of the game I can think of is that it's kind of dated, everything looks really bland and not very exciting, and who can forget that elevator music? See what I mean? Don't you just want to dislike this video now for me making you listen to that? Go ahead, I dare you. Overall, while a few things are dated and bland and the game can get boring from extended play hours, I have to say that the Gremlins 2 The New Bats is still pretty fun for being limited on the old Windows DOS computer back in the day. It has a fun setup using lights or flash as weapons, and as bland as it can get, I like the office building setup. It's available to be played on my abandonedwhale.com, so if you have an itch to try it out, go there. That's why I got this for this. That is all for this episode of TJ Reviews. Thank you for spending the time with me. We hope to see you next time. And until then, keep playing. Hey guys, check out my author page down at Amazon.com. It has all my latest books from the oldest to the newest. We got superhero, supernatural, fantasy, science fiction, and many more. And every month, a new book will be released. Now that dedication, check it out in the video description.